Originally, the guy's parents had wanted to go to the Norwood game. And he goes, well, let's see how the Norwood game goes when
It went pretty good.
it went good. And then we realized that game was in Vancouver.
Oh, it is?
And we said, I don't know if we have a microphone, this and so coach, can't we do it in a game in rink one? So we ended up the all of it. But I'll remind you guys that.
Were all the other games besides that one here in rank one?
There was one Ashland game, but Ashland was actually the home team.
Right. We were actually at that one.
Oh yeah, you guys were. That's right.
Yeah. I set up here, kind of move all the stuff over there.
Yeah, that's right. I watched it. You guys, it's amazing. But I think that's the only other big one because I think Ashland was doing us a favor because of our vineyard tournament. So they had that game, and then I think Norwood had some kind of conflict with the earlier. I don't know. We did them a favor.
Yeah.
That's how they ended up. I believe those are the
Take these flags just in case.
Good so far.
These legs,
two more games and they're in the playoffs.
Good, yeah.
That was a goal
no,
of the
these
guys.
legs, they
wanted to
sometimes
qualify for the playoffs in
when they're
10
not
games.
fully
You know, they
Yeah.
have that issue.
couldn't kid themselves and think they weren't going to get into the playoffs. They knew that, but the goal was to get there in
Nice.
10 straight. So
Yeah, they've been on fire.
then it'll be
Good.
Tri-Valley League will be the next. I know coach is really focused on that. That's
Yeah. Yeah. They got the horsepower to do it, that's for sure.
yeah.
But
You know
yeah.
what? The Ashland team, fourth line, made an appearance in the first
Yeah, see,
period.
I bet you one of the legs were sinking.
He's doing a good job getting those guys out there. I know what that's like. Like when my son was a sophomore, the fourth line, it's just
Tough
get
to
out there. It's
tough
wonderful.
time. Yeah.
Best thing ever.
But he's playing great. I
Right.
tell you,
See if we'll
you watch him. He reminds me just of Bergeron because he's great in the defensive end. He kind of goes, I don't want to say unnoticed because it's noticeable, but he does his job so well.
Yeah. You guys said some nice things about
He does so
him.
well defensively,
Yeah.
and then he's got the skills to chip
Yeah.
in the points for the second. Get him in there.
Well,
too. He's great. So.
Him and Will Quinlan have played together forever. And of course, Pavitt, they played this summer together.
We're alive.
But before the end of the year, the three of them are going to mesh up.
Yeah.
They're starting to know where Pavitt's going to be. He's starting to know.
audio?
Dan and Will know where each other's going to be. And then this elite talent, Pavitt, we can only hope stays with it for a few years. But
It's working.
Nice.
We're live right now.
On TV.
yeah, that's pretty cool. Word got around you guys are trying to go live to this. But yeah, when they start hooking up with Pavitt, like Pavitt's a one-man show, but when the three of us work together,
Yeah.
and we work together.
That's good. Well, they got the depth for the run this year.
Yeah.
When they get to the
Yeah, like I said,
I think it's
he's running third line right from the beginning because he's got a great third line. Fourth line's getting there early. I like seeing that.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone on YouTube.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Hillers Hockey coming up live on the HCAM YouTube page against Dover-Sherborn. Should be a great game. Stay tuned.
Yep.
Cool.
My son's helping out doing the coaches of the girls team, so he's up in Havel. That's where they're playing tonight.
Got a couple of, well, they got one win and a tie.
Yep. Can't hold on to a lead.
Yeah.
They've been leading in almost all the games, and then the other teams come back. Oh, by the way, they were asking if we had a chance if we could maybe do one of the games over in Blackstone this year.
I'd like to, and I was looking at their schedule, but the problem is, they overlap with all the boys' games.
Oh, are they all that close?
They have a bunch of Saturdays, but it's
Within 10,
every
yeah.
Saturday these guys
So
go
they're
right.
making it.
But, I mean, I'll take another look at it, but last time I checked, they look like they're all overlapping. Which stinks. I'd like to do one, but give them some coverage.
Yep.
Tell them to put together a win streak. fire station building to the right of the fire station. If you go in there on the basement. Nice. Yeah, they got a good team again this year. Yeah. Scores.
Is that yours or for me? You can take one. Yeah, you got 3 of them.
The problem is that when I pulled out of my trunk, I pulled the whole thing out. Like, I don't know if you want to take it off.
Oh boy.
Sarah Cord. Hit the record. Three, two, one. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into the New England Sports Center for Hopkinton Hillers boys varsity hockey. Today they take on Dover-Sherborn Weston. Tom Nappy alongside Eric Carty, Joe Frackleton on camera. The Hopkinton Hillers 8-0 on the season. Dover-Sherborn Weston 3-5-0. The Hillers have just been dominating their opponents as of late. Their most recent game was an 8-1 victory over Norwood, certainly a very impressive victory over a good Norwood team. Eric, it's been pretty amazing how the Hillers have just been dominating their opponents up to this point.
Yeah, what a great stretch of hockey they've had. Aside from that one loss in the finals, what a win streak that they've got going. You want to start off hot, and they certainly have.
And they hope to continue that trend. They have Dover-Sherborn Weston today, and then a very good game next week at Holliston, who's also having a great season. That should be a good showdown. And then they'll take on Ashland on the 22nd right here at New England Sports Center as we are just about ready for Hillers hockey. Let's tell you a little bit about Dover-Sherborn Weston. They finished 7-10-3 last year, just missing the playoffs. And last season they lost 5-0 in the only meeting against Hopkinton. And they've also lost at least their last 5 to the Hopkinton Hillers over the years. But they're certainly going to try to change that today. Dover-Sherborn Weston just getting off a 4-1 win over Northeast. Before that, a pair of losses against Holliston, Peabody, and Ashland. But they're certainly hoping to turn that trend around, and we know that whenever these two teams meet up, it seems to be a pretty good game, Eric.
Yeah, all those Tri-Valley teams, with that league, it always doesn't matter who's got the better of the in the standings, but they always seem to come out and play tough against each other.
All right, well, they're just about ready for hockey. We're going to have the national anthem and the pregame introductions coming up. So without further ado, we'll send it down to ringside.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the New England Sports Center. We welcome you for today's hockey game between the Dover-Sherborn Weston hockey team and the Hopkinton Hillers. If you would all please rise, remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
And there you have it, the national anthem, and we are ready for hockey here at the New England Sports Center. Gray Bailey in net today for the Hillers, and for Dover-Sherborn Weston, it'll be Will Summerless, a junior. And we'll also try to get you the other starters for the Hillers. And Eric, do you think after last year's state championship run, the Hillers are anxious to get back to that level.
Yeah, when you get that close, Tom, and you just finish, a goal short, you got that fire and fury to get back there, and they have that for sure. They're really showing that this year, especially with this top line. This orange line is really racking up the points this year.
And we are underway. Dover-Sherborn Weston starts off with control. Out there for the Hillers, Drew Saporositz, Andrew Gilbert, Sean Walsh, as well as Tommy Hamblett. And those are your starters for the Hillers, and also Kyle Rogers in the starting mix as well. And of course, the combination to look out for is that Walsh-Rogers combination. Also, Andrew Gilbert in that game against Ashland had 2 tremendous hard shot goals, so he'll be someone to look out for as well. Here comes Walsh now around the net, trying to sneak it in, and it's turned away by Summerless. Rogers picks it up, and now Saporositz along the corner, sends it over to Walsh behind the net, out to Rogers in the circle. There's a shot just wide, and a secondary shot by Saporositz turned away behind the net. That's Hamblett, and he gets jammed up against the boards by Billy Rooney. Hamblett able to sneak away with it. Out to Walsh, trying to sneak it in, then Rogers sends it flying. He was aiming for that top corner. Good pressure to start off this game by the Hillers. Walsh denied there, and Dover-Sherborn Weston able to work it up the ice. And Gray Bailey gets a stick on it as Dover-Sherborn has the line change. And some sharp new jerseys for Dover-Sherborn Weston.
Well, early on, Tom, the Hillers showing that they can control that puck down low in the Dover-Sherborn zone. They're doing a great job finding the open man, keeping that puck away from Dover-Sherborn, getting some good chances early.
And we get an icing call, so we'll have a face-off in the Hillers zone. Dan Kirk out there for Hopkinton in the face-off circle against Tommy Higgins for DS Weston. Out to the blue line, off the wall. It goes off the stick of Griffin. And now the Hillers trying to work it back. Will Quinlan sends it to the neutral zone. Picked up by Cooper Griffin. Now along the near side boards. Griffin sends it over. Sneaking in there is Quinlan, trying to steal it away from Henry Hamblett. John O'Brien gets in the mix as well, out in front towards Dan Kirk. And now here comes Tommy Higgins. Works it up into Hillers territory. Tracked down by Ron Seamus. Over to the near side. Here comes Pavitt Mera. And he has been unbelievable for the Hillers, the freshman. Having a great season so far. And has contributed heavily as the Hillers have another line change. Here comes Ian Chung along the far side boards. Out to Hillers territory goes. Jarrett sends it over. Back to the neutral zone now. Over to the corner it goes as it floats up the boards. Trying to work it down, Billy Rooney. He'll send it flying where it's caught by Cam Jarrett. Sends it around the net. Ian Chung is there. He'll meet up with Jake Weinstock. Along the far side, that's Aiden Walsh. Trying to gather up control up against Cooper Griffin. Also getting in on the mix, Joe Carrazza. Aiden Walsh trying to send it out in front. And Dover-Sherborn Weston has it. Up the near side, Billy Rooney racing forward. There's a shot turned away by Bailey. Pass over towards Cam Jarrett. 11:37 and counting left to go in period number 1 of this TBL matchup between the Hopkinton Hillers and Dover-Sherborn Weston. The first line back out there for the Hillers.
Good save early there by Bailey. That one was their first shot for Dover. Almost halfway through here.
Higgins trying to gather up control, takes a hard shot from Saporositz up along the near side now. Here comes Walsh. Walsh flying up the ice. Look out, here he comes. Sneaking between 2 defenders, shot! And it is going to be just wide, nearly in. And Summerless might have got a piece of it as well.
I think he got his glove on it after it went through the legs. He swung around with a glove behind him just to keep that from going in. That's Walsh's patented move.
Puck ends up out of play. We'll have a face-off. Face-off comes at 10:58 left to go in the first period. So far, 3 shots on net for the Hillers, 1 for Dover-Sherborn Weston. Walsh in on the face-off for the Hillers. Up against Higgins. There's a quick shot and a glove save. How about the quick stick of Tommy Hamblin?
Yeah, nice snapshot. The Hillers have, that's what they concentrate on in practices, those face-offs and those set plays.
They've been very good on the face-off so far this season. Walsh trying to win this one. Sending it over was Hamblin. Along the corner he goes, jammed up along the corner, along with the puck. Trying to sneak it out, and he will. Behind the net it goes. Picked up by Rogers, and he's tied up with Billy Rooney. Back over to Gilbert. He takes a shot, goes off a Blue Raider. Gilbert trying to sneak it in. That hit the back of the net. Almost thought it was in for a moment. Along the near side now. Saporoshic picks it up. There's a quick shot and a glove save by Summerless. That'll force a face-off at 10-11 left. I feel like so far this season the Hillers have had a little bit of a slow start in the first period, but then they really get going in that second period, so that'll be something to look out for.
Yeah, they're able to have three lines run through that are all capable of putting pressure on these other teams, which is great.
Over to Seamus. There's a quick shot turned away by Summerless. Hillers certainly winning the possession battle so far. Manser trying to pick it up along the far side boards. Sneaking it up is George Herlahai. Up behind the net, Seamus. And now with possession, that's Manser. Sends it forward. And here comes Mera. Mera on a break, look out. Sends it over, shot, turned away by Summerless. Secondary shot, that's in!
Dan Kirk with a nice follow-up. Just what a great play from the Hillers end all the way out. Great passing all the way up and great follow-up. And Dan Kirk went right to the net, picked up that rebound.
Dan Kirk on the goal. It'll be Will Quinlan and Pavitt Mera with assists.
This is what's going to be the key for the Hillers when they get into the playoffs. The second line has really added some depth this year with the scoring. They've been playing great, supplement that first line.
So the Hillers draw first blood as Dan Kirk heading back to the face-off circle. And here we go. Along the near side. Sends it over to Manser. And now it's back to Seamus. Hillers continuing to put the pressure on as Quinlan trying to gather it up. Over to Seamus, now back to the neutral zone. Picked up by Manser. Mera. Here comes Mera, look out. Around the net he goes. Smart move there, had nowhere to go with it, so just hung on. Over to Seamus, and then Quinlan tries to sneak it in. Still out in front of the net, and it's kept away. Manser will send it around. Along the near side, off the stick of Walsh. Picked up by Carrazza. He'll send it around. Behind the net, that's Cooper Griffin. Off the stick of Higgins into Hillers territory. And they'll draw the icing.
The Hillers just dominating right now, Tom, with their puck possession. They're just, they're able to move that puck so quickly, and they've got such skill with the forward positions. They're able to just control that puck and just at will get it to where they want it to go and get the good shots.
9-1 in shots on net. A 1-0 lead for the Hillers. 8:41 left to go in the first period. Joe Carrazza up against Standish Characters on the face-off. Sent forward into the neutral zone. Getting there is Jarrett. He'll send it up the boards. Now Aiden Walsh trying to rush in. Jammed up behind the net by Liam Falvey. Now it's back to Jarrett. Jarrett looking for a quick shot there and ended up going off of Carruthers. Puck behind the net, controlled by Billy Rooney for the moment. He'll draw a hit, and here comes Aiden Walsh. Rooney up against Walsh. He'll send it up to Jarrett. Sends it right back to Walsh. Out in front, nearly stuffed in by Hamblett. Picked up along the corner by Barnes. He takes a shot. And the Blue Raiders work it back.
Good defensive play there for DS. That to the outside.
Another icing call with 7:49 left to go in the first period.
It was starting to wear down DS a little bit here now. I think it's already up to either 3 or 4 icings for DS.
Could be a long day for them if they don't start getting any kind of possession. There's a quick shot by Rogers, out in front, nearly stuffed in by Hamblett. Along the far side, sent up the boards by Berman. And now Hamblett trying to sneak away with it. Along the near side, Hamblett's in there. Also in the mix, John O'Brien for the Blue Raiders. Racing up is Burke, along the far side now. Dover-Sherborn Weston still trying to establish a possession here, but Kyle Rogers has something to say about that. Here comes Rogers, sent in front to Walsh, and he nearly was able to sneak it in.
Great idea, a nice lead pass. Walsh just couldn't get to it.
The Raiders racing up, looking for a shot here. Turned away, secondary shot, and that's going to be wrapped up by Bailey. A little bit of pressure from the Blue Raiders.
Bailey with a great kick slide there to get over to get that rebound.
And we'll have a face-off in Hillers territory. Dan Kirk up against Standish Characters. Sneaking away with it. The freshman, Pavitt Mera. Here he comes. Working against a number of Blue Raiders there. Forces it to the back boards. Saporosha sends it up. Racing there is Dan Kirk. Ian Falvey cuts him off. Now goes to battle with Kirk. Quinlan sends it back, and there's a quick shot and a save by Summerless off the stick of Pavitt Mera.
He had to be quick on that one for sure. A nice pass out front from Mera to Kirk. I mean, he wasted no time, just one time.
Good goaltending so far by Summerless, the junior. Gilbert sends it around. Quinlan picks it up. Sends it out in front. Kirk, Mera, shot, save. Mera again on the rebound, trying to jam it in, still out in front. And there's Gilbert with the power. It's wide to the right. Jammed up along the near side boards. Quinlan comes away with it. Over to Saporosha. Sends it up to Kirk. And now Quinlan back to Kirk. Trying to sneak in the backhander, and it's wrapped up by Summerless. He gets the glove on it.
Right now, he's the difference. This could very easily be a 3 or 4 nothing game.
He certainly is. We'll have another face-off with 6:02 left. Hillers switch things up on the ice. Joe Carrazza out there. Aiden Walsh pops it up off the boards. Sent over towards Manser. He'll pick it up. Aiden Walsh with possession along the far side. Here comes Walsh racing in. And a pair of Blue Raiders there able to cut him off as Jake Weinstock gets involved in the action. Just past the reach of Manser there. He'll pick it up in the neutral zone. Sent over to Shadis. Up the near side off of the stick of Weinstock, and now sneaking in there Carrazza. Carrazza trying to establish possession, and he's cut off. Higgins with it. Into Hillers territory we go. Manser picks it up. I feel like the Hillers could throw just about any line out there, and they'll just be an immediate threat.
And then what they do, Charles, they just play great system. They're always in the right lane, always in the open lane when they don't have the puck. And they're just able to move that puck so quickly that the other teams can't stay with them.
Less than 5 minutes left to go in the first period. A 1-0 lead for the Hillers. We'll switch up the line once again. Non-stop pressure from Hopkinton so far. Sean Walsh trying to get to the puck. There's a quick shot off the stick of Rogers it went. Walsh picks it up. Racing forward up the far side. Can he get by everybody? Almost. And Hamblett nearly had a goal. Rogers. Walsh. Sends it to the far side. Hamblett. It's back to Jarrett. Now Hamblett once again with the shot and a goal! The wrister! Tommy Hamblett!
Real smart play. He kind of looked it off. He tried to sold the pass to the middle, and then he just snapped it off. Caught him leaning for that pass.
That goal comes with 4:16 left to go in the first period. Did he get a little knuckle puck action on that?
He had snapped off a pretty good
Might
one.
have.
But he totally caught goaltender by surprise there as he thought the pass was coming out front.
Walsh up against characters. Here comes Walsh racing forward. The back pass and the back shot, and it is a save. Rogers nearly had it on the secondary attempt. Hamblin along the far side boards. Walsh trying to sneak it around, and it is wrapped up by Summerless.
Hopkinton goal scored by number 19, Tommy Hamblin. Assisted by number 9, Cam Jarrett.
Cam Jarrett gets the assist on the Hamblin goal.
Time of the goal, 10:44.
3:55 left to go in the first period. A 2-0 lead for the Hillers. Hopkinton trying to improve to 9-0-0 on the season. Gilbert with possession. Over to Saporositz. Sends it around. And it's picked up by Rooney. Rooney pops it off the boards. Gilbert gonna race to it. And we'll get a whistle here.
We'll have an ice.
It's gonna be icing. We'll have a face-off at 3:31 left to go. Will Quinlan and Tommy Hamblin have goals so far for the Hillers. Kirk sends it back. Gilbert at the blue line, pops it forward towards Mara. Jammed up along the far side. Kirk trying to get to it. Higgins gets in there. Stolen away by Mara. Backhanded pass nearly had Quinlan in front. Quinlan gives a hard shot to John O'Brien along the corner.
Good idea there, just a little bit in Quinlan's skates.
Right back to the Blue Raiders side it goes. And Saporositz sent it forward with authority. And now Dover-Sherborn Weston trying to establish something, and a number of trip-ups lead Will Quinlan to have possession up the near side. Here he comes, racing up. Trying to send it to Mara, and it was intercepted by Cooper Griffith. Getting in there now for the Hillers, Reese Griffiths. Looking for a shot off, misfire by Carrazza, and it's sent into Hillers territory.
Another ice here.
Another icing call at 2:34 left to go. Joe Carrazza would like to have that one back. Carrazza up against Carruthers. Sends it around to the near side. Weinstock trying to get in there. Here comes Aiden Walsh. He'll take a shot. Over in the corner, that's Hurlahigh. And it's intercepted by Walsh on the attempt to pass to his left. Along the near side, Reese Griffiths races in. On the corner, Carrazza. Back to Griffiths. And here comes Dover-Sherborn Weston on a break. Cooper Griffin sent flying off the ceiling. Out of play it goes into the netting.
Carrazza with a great back check there. Get a stick on that. The shot from making it to the net.
Hillers making a line change. 1:55 left to go in the first. Curtis Terry up against Tommy Higgins. And now out in front, there's a Dover-Sherborn Weston goal. They're not going away so fast. That was George Hurlahigh with the goal.
Nice initial save by Bailey, but unfortunately there was no one there to pick up the DS man out in front.
The correction, make that Connor Burke, the sophomore, on the goal. That goal comes at 1:51 left. A 2-1 game. Terry against Higgins once again. Controlled by Summerless. He gets it over to Rooney. Toko gets in there. Jammed up along the corner.
Dover-Sherborn Weston goal scored
Curtis
by
Terry
number
trying to get in there to help him out.
Assisted by number 19, John O'Brien, and number 5, Billy Rooney. Time of the goal,
John
13.
O'Brien and Billy Rooney on the assists. Trying to quickly sneak it in was Toko. Along the near side. Taken by Terry out in front. Pressure, and it is going to be wrapped up. Toko had a shot on it, as well as Andrew Moore. But a nice wrap up there by Summerless, and the Hillers bring the first line back out with 1:09 left to go in the period.
Threw a screen. I don't even think he saw it till the end, but he got that blocker right up and was able to keep that out. And he's definitely keeping his team in this one.
Quinton Barnes and Cam Jarrett are your defensemen. Walsh, Rogers, and Hamblett your forwards. Up to Walsh, Hamblett.
1 minute remaining in the period.
Back to Walsh. Over towards Barnes. There's a shot, and it's turned away. Barnes catches up with it. Slicing and dicing at the puck as Connor Burke trying to sneak away with it. Earl High pops it off the boards. Sent forward by Ian Chung. And it's picked up by Cam Jarrett. Here comes Jarrett flying up the ice. 28 seconds and counting left to go in the period. Jarrett lost it. Rogers trying to knock it forward. And Dover-Sherborn nearly had a break there. Sent off the boards by Barnes. Walsh picks it up. Here comes Walsh, and you can hear Coach Bork telling his guys to get on him. You don't want him to break away.
No surprise now that Walsh can take it end to end.
And that is going to do it for an exciting first period of Hillers hockey. After one, it's Hopkinton 2, Dover-Sherborn 1. And Eric, despite the fact that the Hillers leading 14-5 with shots on net, we got a 2-1 score here. And of course, the only stat that matters is the points on the scoreboard.
That's exactly what I was going to say. If you look at the scoreboard and the shots, you think the Hillers are dominating, which they are in that end, but it's still only a 1-goal game. And so they want to start being able to finish on some of those because they hang around long enough and Dover-Sherborn get a couple breaks.
Well, after one period, it's Hopkinton 2, Dover-Sherborn Weston 1. We're going to take a break. You are tuned in to Hopkinton Hillers Boys Varsity Hockey on HCAM. There you go.
Wiggle that connection again before we start. Likes to go in and out on me. That connection likes to go in and out, and I gotta wiggle that again before we start.
Check, check. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Oh, I'm sitting on your cord.
Just got to tap it a little bit, see if I can get the other. Oop, there we go, right there. That's good.
I could do this. Does that help?
Yep, they're on now. Both
There we go.
headsets.
All right. You're recording already? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back into the New England Sports Center after a long intermission to Zamboni the Ice. We are just about ready for the second period. So far, it is a 2-1 game in favor of the Hopkinton Hillers. It was 14-5 in shots on net. Your goals were scored by Dan Kirk for the Hillers, and then you had Tommy Hamblett with 4:16 left, and then Connor Burke for Dover-Sherborn Weston at 1:51 left. And despite the fact that the Hillers were pretty dominant for the most part in that first period, it's only a 2-1 game. And this Dover-Sherborn Weston team, they've gotten some pretty good shots off, and they started to put a little more pressure on the Hillers towards the end of that period. So we should see what the second period will bring. The last time I got the chance to see the Hillers in the second period was against Ashland. Started off with a scoreless first period, and then the Hillers scored 3 goals almost immediately.
Yeah, they seem to do real well in the second period so far this year. And that's what they're going to need to do here to stop the little surge by Dover-Sherborn.
Tom Nappy alongside Eric Cardio on the call. Joe Frackleton on camera, and the fans are pumped up. And we are underway in the second period. Gilbert sends it forward right to the net, and it's wrapped up by Summerless. Hillers working right to left across your screen for the second period. And we'll have a face-off. Sean Walsh in there for Hopkinton. Picked up by Rogers. Sends it along the far side. Walsh racing in. Hamblett trying to get there. Sent into the near side corner. Hamblett sends it out to Gilbert. Look out, he has a powerful shot. Puts that one off of Ian Chung. And now he'll send it to Walsh. Walsh looking for a shot wide to the left. The back pass to Aiden Walsh. And now Gilbert. There's a shot, and it's wrapped up by Summerless.
Well, the Hillers starting right where they left off in the first period with puck mover Tommy Hamlet and Kyle Rogers. Great work down low, getting the puck back to the defenseman, and the defenseman making some nice crisp passes for the shots on net.
So the first line was out there to start. Now we switch things up. Dan Kirk in there. Here's Mira with a shot, and it's in! What a goal by the freshman!
You keep talking about it, Tom. The face-offs for these Hillers are key. They win the face-off on that set play, and Mira moves right to the center, using the screen, puts it right in the corner.
The goal comes 46 seconds into the second period.
Another quick start to the second.
A 3-1 lead for the Hillers. Dan Kirk on the face-off up against Higgins. Along the near side, Manser takes a big shot into the boards. He gets up, he's okay. Picking it up in the corner, Cooper Griffin. Mara sends it back. One-timer, and it is denied. Manser a little wide on the shot.
Scored by number 4, Pavitt Mara.
Pavitt Mara sends it over to the corner. Jammed up a little bit along the corner, bailing him out. Will Quinlan. Along the near side now. Picked up by Higgins. He'll take a shot and send it into Hillers territory. Manser will race to the puck. Sends it to Seamus. Now along the far side of Mara. Mara racing up, looking for another one, and he's intercepted that time. Tracking it down, Seamus. Sends it to Mara. Kirk wasn't looking at Mara and was able to send it over to Seamus. Mara trying to work it out of Hillers territory. Manser now along the corner. Quinlan Sends it forward off of Kirk. Here comes Quinlan up the near side. Pops it off the boards. Around the net it goes. Hillers make a change. And now back to Hillers territory. It'll be picked up by Jarrett. Sends it up to Aiden Walsh. Now racing forward, Carrazza. And Carrazza's tripped up. And are we going to have a tripping here?
Looks like to be on the power play. Interference. Yep.
And we will. So the Hillers on the power play. George Hurlhigh in the box.
Looks like DS is really making a point to try to be a little more intense on their forecheck. They're getting in quicker on the Hillers there, trying to slow down that breakout.
But now they'll have to do it a man down for the next 2 minutes. Power play comes with 12:25 left in the second period. Gilbert with the puck. Back to Walsh. Walsh sends it around.
Walsh playing a point on this power play.
Along the near side, here is John O'Brien racing up. He's quickly intercepted by Walsh. Walsh is going to keep it. Up to Gilbert, now to Mara. Here comes Mara, racing forward. Coach McPherson loves to have Walsh, Rogers, and Mara out there on the power play, and it's worked out well so far this season. Walsh with possession. Up the far side he goes. Racing around the net, trying to sneak it over to Hamlet. Walsh with the puck in the left circle. Back to the blue line to Mara. Mara with a wrister, and it's just wide.
Might have gone off a leg in front. He had that corner picked.
Mara from the high slot, and that one's deflected. Not quite sure if it went off of Rogers or the goaltender, Summerless. Walsh sends it to Hamlet. Now over to Gilbert. 35 seconds left on the power play. There's the wrister. Out in front of the net now, trying to sneak it in, and it's in! Tommy Hamlet! 4-1 Hillers!
It's another snipe shot for Hamlet. The Hillers are really picking the corners now.
Tommy Hamlet with his second goal of the day. David Mira on the assist.
The Hillers did a great job on that power play, just possessing the puck, not trying to rush it and lose possession of it. Getting the puck down low. Sean Walsh made a great play off the backboards to find Hamlet down low to keep it in before he got that goal.
Dan Kirk up against Standish Carruthers. So the power play pays off for the Hillers. They're up 3. Jarrett sends it around. Picked up by Kaplan.
Goal scored by number 19, Tommy Hamlet.
On the far side now.
12, Kyle Rogers, and number 6, Andrew Gibbert. Power play goal for Hopkinton.
It was actually Gilbert and Rogers on the assist for the Hillers there on the Tommy Hamlet goal. And there's a shot by Jarrett just wide, still out in front, and it's flung off the glass by the Blue Raiders. Quentin Barnes picks it up, back ice. Over to Quinlan, racing forward. He has some moves. Sends it back towards Kirk. And now out in front, Mara with the backhander, and then trying to slice it in was Kirk, but he's denied. Jarrett along the far side. Will fling it forward and around. Kaplan. Touched by Quinlan to set it back, and there's a shot by Jarrett, turned away. Back towards Jarrett.
Keep in
Jarrett
there.
with the wrister out in front, backhander Kirk, and he's denied. Along the near side. Back into Hillers territory, the puck is rolling, and it's picked up by Barnes. Over to Jarrett. Both teams making some changes. Jarrett up the far side, takes a big shot into the boards. And we're gonna have a whistle here and a penalty against the Hillers. It's going to be on, Dover-Sherborn Weston. I think it was for that shot along the far side. It was on Herlahai. Minor penalty. So the Hillers back on the power play for the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's the last thing DS wants to do now is give the Hillers another power play with the way they've been playing so far this second.
A 4-1 lead for the Hillers. 9:10 left to go in the second period. The Hillers had too many men on the ice, but they're quickly able to get off the extra man. Gilbert. And he nearly had Rogers out in front there.
Dover-Sherborn Western penalty.
Slowed down by Bailey.
Number 3, George Hurley. 2 minutes to elbow. Time of the penalty.
So the call was an elbow. Walsh racing up. Hamblett. Well, Mara gets in there. Back to Walsh. Now Mara looking to set something up, and Hamblett nearly had it. Set back by Rogers. And Dover-Sherborn Weston able to clear. 1:18 and counting left on the Hillers power play. 8:25 left in the second period. Hillers scored a goal on their first power play opportunity. Trying to score another one here. Mara racing up. And he's cut off. And this is going to be sent all the way to the backboards of Hillers territory. And the Hillers making a couple changes. Here comes Walsh. Over to Gilbert. Racing up is Gilbert. Gilbert still with possession. Now back to Mara he goes. Now Gilbert looking for the power. And it is going to be denied.
Good block there.
Gilbert loves taking those power shots from the blue line. And he had a couple beauties against Ashland. Walsh putting on the moves. Here he comes. Look out. Sends it out in front. Mara's there. Back to Gilbert. Now Mara pops it off the boards to Rogers. Rogers along the corner.
Hillers got to watch out of the box here.
Misfire there. The power play has expired. 7:04 and counting left to go in the second period. Gilbert gets there, sends it up the near side towards Kirk and Walsh.
Great defensive play by Kirk there, lifting the stick to get that out.
Walsh pops it back to Hamblett. Now Kirk, top of the circle. There's a shot. Off the stick of Quinlan it goes. Now into the neutral zone. Higgins looking for a shot, and that's turned away. Picked up by Griffiths. So a little bit of pressure by Dover-Sherborn Weston. Jake Weinstock with possession. Weinstock sends it back to Kirk. And there's a shot out in front, and a goal! And that's going to be Jake Weinstock on the secondary attempt.
Great play there. The Hillers just send that off wing or center, who's ever in front there, goes right to the net, and they're able to pick up those rebounds, be in perfect position to score.
A 5-1 lead for the Hillers, piling it on in the second period. That goal comes with 6:25 left to go. Hillers' third goal of the period.
For the Hillers, Tom, they're just, with their speed, team speed, they're just so easy to gain the blue line. They're able to take it right in on Dover-Sherborn and then set up.
Rouse up against Roan. Picked up by Berman. Kaplan sends it back.
Hopkinton goal scored by number 5, Jacob Weinstock.
Here comes Aiden
Assisted by
Walsh.
number 10, Wynn
Walsh putting on the moves, and that
number
shot turned
14,
away.
Dan Kirk. Time of the goal,
Dan Kirk
8:35.
was on the assist to that Weinstock goal. Tripped up is Reese Griffiths.
Looks like he'll be going. Yes.
We're going to have a delayed call here. Here comes Weinstock. Shot, and it's saved by Summerless. And we're going to have a penalty here. And it'll be the third power play of the game for the Hillers. Perhaps a little frustration by the Blue Raiders.
Yeah, all he had to do was just get close into the boards, take the body into the boards, but he gave him the shove from behind.
.550 left to go. And that was nearly a goal off the faceoff. Along the corner. Walsh able to drop it.
Western penalty on number 13, Cooper Griffin.
Cooper Griffin was the guilty party on the
Time of the
penalty.
9-10.
Down the boards it goes.
Hiller's going with 4 forwards again with Walsh playing D on this power play.
Get an icing here. Yeah, that's been their style this year, and it's worked out well for them.
It just allows them, they have, between Walsh and Mira, they both have the speed to take the puck right up to gain that blue line to start the power play in the other zone.
Mira up against characters. Walsh sends it around. Gilbert. Here comes Walsh. Mira racing forward. Hamblett. Along the near side boards. Hamblett picks it up. Back to the corner he goes. Walsh. Mira. Back to Walsh, looking to set him up. Wrister turned away. Loose puck is picked up by Rogers. Over to Hamblett along the corner. Back to Walsh in the high slot. There's a shot out in front, and it's wrapped up by Summerless.
The thing that's really impressed me, Tom, about Mira, the freshman, he's got such poise for a freshman. He takes what's given to him. He made a nice look. Saw his wing, Tommy Hammett, way up on the blue line, was able to send a nice pass over and start that break in for the power play.
I'm going to assume he started playing hockey at a very young age. 4:46 left to go in the period, 56 seconds left on the power play. Quinlan sends it back to Jarrett. Kirk along the near side. And back to Quinlan. Now Kirk. Up to Jarrett. And Dover-Sherborn was briefly able to slip it by Jarrett as Connor Burke put it between his legs, but now picking it up is Manser. Quinlan. Jammed up along the near side boards. Back around we go. 19 seconds left on the power play. So it could be another power play burn by Dover-Sherborn Weston, but it's a 5-1 Hillers lead. Quinlan racing up. Over to Jarrett, looking for a shot. There's the power wide to the right, and it's going to be wrapped up by Summerless, a diving Will Summerless.
Couldn't tell if Kirk got a stick on that. There was a slight deflection at the end. I don't know if it went off of the Dover-Sherborn play or if Kirk got his stick on it.
Will Quinlan was in there with Summerless, and is he going? We have a call here.
Yep.
Yes, we do. Cross check. So Dover-Sherborn Weston will have their first power play opportunity of the game after 1 second expires. And right now, Miller's changing things up on the ice. 3:50 left to go in the second period. Jeff Toko in on the faceoff. Along the near side. Toko pops it off the boards.
Good win there.
Penalty to number 10, Will Quinlan. 2 minutes.
And the
for
Dover-Sherborn
cross-check.
power play opportunity underway.
9-10. 2 minutes for cross-check.
Rooney flings it forward. Now Griffin gets a stick on it. Along the far side, sent off the boards by Seamus. Nearly got by the goaltender Summerless, who was trying to keep it in front.
Hiller's pressuring.
Toko gets in there. And jammed up against the boards. By Quentin Barnes was Chung. Along the far side, now Toko tripped up as he's tied up with Hurlhigh. Over to Higgins. Here comes Dover-Sherborn Weston. Hurlhigh is racing up, and that shot denied. Seems like it's been the first shot in a long time for Dover-Sherborn Weston.
And that was a 1-on-3. The Hillers had 3 players back for that.
48 seconds left on the Blue Raiders power play.
And the Hillers dumped the puck in, and they end up being the first one down there to get it.
Peraza with possession, and nearly a goal by Curtis Terry, who tried to slip it through.
Another penalty on Diaz, Tom.
And look at that. We'll be back to even strength for the next 34 seconds. And then after that, the Hillers will have the man advantage for the next minute 26. Heading to the box is Cooper Griffin for the Blue Raiders. That's his second penalty today. 2:24 remaining in the second period. It's been Hillers' domination in this second period. Evan Mira in on the face-off. Standish Characters gets kicked out. And a good face-off for Mira as he sends it back to Walsh.
Dover-Sherborn Weston penalty. The number 13, Cooper
Walsh
Griffin.
racing up the far side. Here he comes. Look out.
Time penalty.
Racing forward. Leaves it for Mira. Looking for the shot, and he rose it a little too high there. He was aiming for that top corner, and there's another shot wide to the left goes Gilbert. Jammed up along the near side now. Walsh able to pluck it out. Sends it forward, and that's it. Off the stick of Rogers and in.
What a great tip by Rogers. Just redirected that perfectly.
Tremendous goal there.
And what a breakout by Walsh. He kind of changed speeds there in the zone and caught Dover-Sherborn sleeping and was able to put the Jets on to blow by him.
I don't even think Rogers had to move his stick on that tip.
Good luck, too. I think Walsh was the one who sent that in. He saw him right there in front. Put it right on the stick.
That goal comes with 1:51 left in the period. The Hillers up by 5. Continuing to pile on the goals.
And they're on the power play now.
12, Kyle Rogers. Assisted by number 11,
That's right. The power play will stand since
and number 4,
both teams were on a power play before the goal.
Time of the goal,
Dan Kirk racing up.
13:09.
Minute 12 left on the power play. Along the near side, back to Jarrett. He's able to fling it forward to Weinstock. Pass by Kirk out in front and turned away is Weinstock. Over to the corner. And it's jammed up, but Quinlan able to set it free. Quinlan trying to get it towards Jarrett along the near side boards. And up the ice we go into Hillers territory.
1 minute remaining.
Manser
in
will
the
track
period.
it down. 35 seconds left on the Hillers power play. Less than a minute remaining in the period. 55 seconds and counting. Kirk racing up the far side. Top of the circle. Around the net he goes. Back to Jarrett. Jarrett looking for an opportunity. Trying to sneak it through. And it was just turned away. Back to Jarrett. Goes past Quinlan. Kirk. There's a shot, and it is wrapped up by Summerless.
Good puck movement again by the Hillers.
3 seconds left on the power play. 26 seconds left in the second period. The Hillers have piled on 4 more goals in this second period. And so far, kept the Blue Raiders scoreless.
Important face-off here. The Hillers want to win this, so Dover-Sherborn can't send the guy out of the box away.
Terry up against Characters. Toko along the far side. Puts it off the boards. Power play has expired. Toko. 10 seconds left in the period. Racing forward. There's a shot, and it's wrapped up. Nice shot by Berman, the defenseman. And we will have a face-off with 8.5 seconds left to go. Tripped up was Terry. Along the far side now, Berman. That's going to do it for the second period. A dominant performance by the Hillers in that period, Eric.
Yeah, just as you called, the second period's been really good to them. They came out fast again, scoring within the first minute, and then aided by a couple power plays. They're just really controlling the puck, and that's what really impressed me tonight. They're not giving the puck up, not turning it over. They've had great plays in the neutral zone, either using the boards or getting it down low, not turning the puck over and getting great scoring opportunities.
Well, the Hillers leading in shots on goal 29-6. Hillers domination. It's continuing on And we have another period to play. The Hillers up after 2, 6-1. You are tuned in to Hopkinton Hillers Boys Varsity Hockey on HCAM.
I'm gonna make a label for you. Tired? I'm gonna make a label. White, salt. Oh no. You're the best girl going in the business. Well, I gotta say, tiny club. I don't want to. That was a fun team. Yep. On. Okay, this is all problem. Let's try this again. Did I steal your pen? You didn't bring one. No. Oh, okay. I have no idea where that pen's from.
I'll tell you when to record. Not yet. We got a few minutes. You don't push the button. You push the leg. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, start off with a shot of the student section for the end of the period. It's right over there. All right, you can start recording. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the New England Sports Center. We are just about ready for the third period between the Hopkinton Hillers and the Dover-Sherborn Weston. And a good amount of fans showed up today, the Hillers faithful, to see the Hillers take on the Blue Raiders. Hillers trying to improve to 9-0-0 on the season. Perhaps they can run the table this year, Eric. Perhaps.
Yeah, but right now I think they're looking for their main goal is to make the tournament. So after a great 8-0 start there, that's goal number one, and then continue game by game.
Hillers added 4 more goals in the second period. Pavitt Mira had the first one 46 seconds in, and then Tommy Hamblett had one with 10:53 left to go in the period. And he was assisted by Mira on his goal, and then Jake Weinstock had a goal with 6:25 left to go, and then you had Tommy Hamblett net one with, Kyle Rogers net one with 1:51 to go. So it was a scoring fest for the Hillers in the second period. Will they continue to dominate here in this third period? We shall find out.
Yeah, with a 6-1 lead, the Hillers want to do is just make sure they don't get into any bad habits. They just want to keep playing the way they have with great breakouts, possessing the puck, not making the turnovers.
Curtis Terry, Andrew Moore, Jeff Toko are your forwards. Your defensemen are Drew Saporositz and Andrew Gilbert. Curtis Terry up against Cooper Griffin on the face-off. Tom Nappy, Eric Hardy on the call. Joe Frackleton on camera. It's our pleasure to be with you this afternoon from the New England Sports Center. Along the far side corner, and a big hello to all of those who are watching live on YouTube. It's been a fun one, well, especially if you're a Hillers fan. Over to the near side, Cooper Griffin. Saporositz will slow it down. We do have a new goaltender for the Hillers. They have the freshman in there. Jack Lang is in net for Hopkinton. So Coach McPherson going to get Jack Lang some experience between the pipes. As Terry puts it over to the far side of Moore. Around the boards it goes. Picked up by Billy Rooney. Cooper Griffin gets to it. And here comes Kyle Rogers looking for a shot just wide to the left. Toko along the corner. Sends it over to Terry. Here comes the Blue Raiders trying to work their way up. Rogers flips it up in the air and it's pulled down by Hamblett. And it's going to go Dover-Sherborn Weston direction.
Thought he was on the basketball court for a minute there. What a great play by Terry on his knees, the one-handed keep in there.
Thought he was going to spike it for a minute. For those of you tuned into Hillers hockey, we'll give you a football update. 49ers currently leading the Vikings 24-10.
And the girls team too.
Oh, that's right. Very good point, Eric. The girls team with their third consecutive game that they got a point in as Walsh tries the net one. Walsh and Rogers were coming down hard and they nearly were able to slip by Summerless.
Like Walsh was caught off guard. He had the wide open net, but was trying to get it back to Rogers.
So again, a big congratulations to the Dover-Sherborn Hopkinton Girls Co-op as they tied today at 1 apiece, and their third straight game with at least a point. They've had a win and a pair of ties, so they're starting to rack up those points over there. Seamus along the near side, over to Hamblett. Here comes Walsh. Along the near side. Hamblett was trying to knock it out. Higgins going to send it up. Seamus is there to collect. A little bit of back and forth action to start this third period. Michael Berman sends it up the far side. Walsh jammed up. And helping him out there is Kyle Rogers. Here comes Rogers. He'll flip it forward. We'll have a line change for the Hillers. Pavitt Mira racing towards the puck. Over to Rooney. Ooh, out towards us it goes. That was a close call. We'll have a face-off in the Dover-Sherborn Weston defensive zone. It's getting nervous for you there, Eric.
Lucky he didn't make it this far.
Hamblett along the near side. Sends it over to the far side boards where Quinlan and Berman are waiting. Here comes Finn Meyer. He'll take a big shot into the boards by Mira. And now it's going to be wrapped up by Summerless, and he'll leave it for Hamblett. Dan Kirk tied up with Hamblett. Along the far side, Quinlan sends it over to the corner. Here comes Merritt trying to sneak it around. Out in front, Quinlan shot wide to the right. Rowan gets there for the Blue Raiders. Jammed up along the near side now.
Again, some good board play there for the Hillers.
Berman will pick it up. Off the stick of Quinlan. And now tracking it down is Mara in the corner, along with Barnes. Up the near side we go. Here comes Barnes. Sends it up to Quinlan, who will send it around. Hillers making a change for a pair as Weinstock and Peraza are in the game, as well as Aiden Walsh coming in now. Aiden Walsh with the puck. Sends it back. Over to Jarrett looking for a shot. A little bit wide there. Weinstock pops it around. Peraza sends it further around. Jarrett along the far side boards. Hillers still controlling possession-wise. Aiden Walsh trying to leave it for Carrazza.
Just relentless with the forecheck, Tom. They are just buzzing down low. They're getting right on top of Dover-Sherborn. They give them no chance to get that out.
Jarrett just past the reach of Aiden Walsh. Yeah, it's been pretty unbelievable how they have just been dominating possession-wise. Quentin Barnes will track it down. Dover-Sherborn Weston will make a change. Sent up the far side, getting to it, Liam Falvey. Jarrett sends it forward. Falvey's there for the Blue Raiders. Off the boards goes Burke, jammed up along the near side. Toko trying to escape with it. There's Falvey. 9:53 and counting left to go in the game. Things are looking good for the Hillers. We're up 6-1. We're going to have a face-off in Blue Raiders territory off the icing call. Curtis territory up against Standish Characters. Along the far side. Here comes the Blue Raiders. There's a shot turned away by the freshman, Jack Lang. And now another shot, and that's off a defenseman. Blue Raiders starting to provide a little pressure. Gilbert sends it up, just past the reach of Moore. Terry. Over towards Moore. Here comes Moore. And he's tripped up. have a face-off on the offsides call. Both teams making a number of changes. Face-off comes with 9:07 left to go. Sent over by Manser. Up the near side goes Seamus. Picked up by Hamblett along the corner. Back over to Seamus. There's a shot, and it's wrapped up by Summerless.
Almost had a good look at that one all the way in.
Some good power on that one. Walsh on the face-off. Along the near side. Seamus trying to fight off the defender. Weinstock sends it forward. Hamblett trying to pick it up behind the net. Jammed up a little bit with Henry Hamblett. Over to the circle. There's a shot, and that's in! Sean Walsh saw the opening and exploited it. It's 7-1 Hillers.
That's 3 or 4. That's what you want to do. You want to skate out of the corner and use that defenseman as a screen. And Walsh just brought it perfectly to the slot. Put it short side right through the defense's legs and the goalies.
Yeah, that side of the net was just wide open. The Hillers up by 6. The official having a discussion with the scoreboard operator. We're going to have a running clock here. I believe it's either going to start now or if the Hillers score one more time.
Yeah, I think it does start now, Tom.
And there it is. Running clock throughout the remainder of this game unless the Blue Raiders are able to score another goal before the Hillers do. Here comes Mara. Mara with a shot! Wow! The power! What a beauty by Mara.
These Hiller forwards, they're just picking that spot in the net.
He was wide open coming up the far side. It was Mara, and the only thing in his way was Summerless, the goaltender. And Mara wins that battle. The freshman sensation. Reese Griffiths sends it forward. Here comes Dover-Sherborn Weston. And the bench giving a loud cheer with some nice hits.
Big hit by Griffin.
Racing up, Weinstock. There's a shot wide to the left by Griffiths. And that one turned away along the far side. Sent over towards Griffiths. Up the near side, Weinstock. Here comes Griffiths and Weinstock. Griffiths racing in, shot, turn away.
Nice save.
Excuse me, that was Aiden Walsh.
And he's going to go for either a rough or a board.
Eric, is it just me or are they missing a goal on the scoreboard?
Yeah, I don't think they put that last one up.
They're one short. It's 8-1 Hillers.
Going to go for the rough.
So, Dover-Sherborn Weston with a power play opportunity as Aiden Walsh in the box. Racing to the puck is Terry.
The Hill is just unbelievably beating Dover-Sherborn to every time they ice it during a penalty kill.
Hopkinton penalty by number 7.
Rooney leaves it behind him.
2 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalty.
Here comes the Blue Raiders. Rooney racing up the far side. Jarrett catches up with it. 5:38 and counting left to go. We have a running clock with the Hillers up big. Up behind the net now, Jarrett misplaced it and now able to knock it out with his skate. That's up past the reach of Carrazza. The Raiders looking for a shot here. As racing forward was Rooney. He'll send it back. There's a shot turned away by Lang. What a save by the freshman. That was Cooper Griffin with a good shot aiming for the 5-hole. Lang read it perfectly.
Great shot save.
Pass over to Higgins. He's jammed up along the near side with Weinstock. And now it's back to Rooney. Rooney gonna race up. Puts it wide. Up the boards it goes. And a battle along the far side as Gilbert gets in there. He's up against Jung, and another nice job by Lang. Over to the near side it goes. Saporoshic racing in. And we're going to have a call here. Or did the net come dislodged? It looks like the net might have moved. 6 seconds left on the power play. Blue Raiders putting the pressure on, but the Hillers holding up.
It looks like DS play is going to go now for an extra shove after the hit.
Looks like we're
They're
going to have a
both
player
gonna go.
from both sides going. So Andrew Gilbert will hit the box for the Hillers. And it'll be Tommy Higgins for Dover-Sherborn Weston. And for now, the Blue Raiders will have the man advantage, but in 6 seconds will be at even strength. Clock continuing to run, by the way. We do have a running clock. So, despite the action in the game stopping, that clock doesn't stop. And we have a discussion with the scoreboard operator and the official as he's explaining the penalties. But the Hillers are going to improve to 9-0-0 on the season. Pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah, that's great. 18 points there, so they'll be just 2 points away now from securing the tournament berth.
And it looks like we're going to have a pair of Blue Raiders. I thought they were leaving the game. I thought they might have got thrown out, but and they are. So heading to the locker room a little early is going to be George Herlihy and Tommy Higgins.
It's one thing in high school, anything after the whistle is the rest is no toleration there.
So the clock continuing to run, 2:35 and counting left to go. It's another impressive, dominant TVL victory for Hopkinton. Coming up next for the Hillers, they'll have some tough competition. They got Holliston on Wednesday. It's an away game. And then Ashland on the 22nd, which is a Wednesday as well. That's a home game. We'll certainly be there and have the game live for you on our YouTube page. And, of course, available on HCAM.
Those border town games are always fun to watch because that's where the kids all grow up playing together, and the Demons, so most of them know each other. And Hillers have a target on their back now with the undefeated season so far, so they'll be gunning for them.
It's bothering me they haven't corrected the scoreboard yet, Eric. They didn't wave off the goal, did they?
No.
Jeff Toko is going to come out of the game. Hillers had too many men on, or did they? Now there's all just kinds of confusion. The clock's still ticking, running clock. Game will be over in 1 minute and 20 seconds anyway. Curtis Terry up against Standish Characters.
Good face-off win there for Terry.
And how about the Hillers youngsters coming in, getting some significant playing time in this third period and holding up very well. Including Jack Lang in net, making a couple of great saves. Less than 1 minute left to go in the game. The Hillers up 8-1. And we're going to get a call here. And I don't think the call's going to matter, Eric. That clock's going to run out in 35 seconds.
Because of the old inadvertent whistle. And
all kinds of confusion here in these closing seconds of this one. Scoreboard operator's confused. The official's confused. I'm
The
confused.
announcers are confused.
And Spanish Carruthers is kicked out of a face-off, and that's going to do it. Game over. The Hillers are going to win. 8-1 is the final score. They never added it on the scoreboard, but we'll go with 8-1. The Hopkinton Hillers are going to improve to 9-0 on the season. Dover-Sherborn falls to 3-6-0. A great win by the Hillers today, Eric, and they just continue to dominate.
You can't say enough about them. They're just playing perfect hockey right now, Tom. They're just in all the zones. They're doing what they need to do. They've got the speed. They've got the skill. And they're able to roll 3 lines through. And tonight, the 4th line even showing their skill and speed as well. Just a great lineup from top to bottom.
It certainly is. All 4 lines just tremendous. And the Hillers will have some tough competition coming up, so things will certainly get interesting. But the Hillers 9-0 on the season with a 8-1 win over Dover-Sherborn Weston here today. Well, that's just about going to do it for Hopkinton Hillers hockey coverage. For Joe Frackleton on camera, my broadcast partner Eric Carty, I'm Tom Nappy. The final score for the final time. The Hopkinton Hillers take down Dover-Sherborn Weston. 8-1 is your final score. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon. This has been Hopkinton Hillers Boys Varsity Hockey on HCAM. Take care, everyone.